So the lady wanted to know what are the dating steps for high value women. Okay? But what I want to say first is, who is a high value woman? How do you know if you're a high value woman, right? There are many traits that high value women have. And you have to remember that if you know that you're a high value woman, you probably want to also meet a high value man. Obviously, if you have done the work, because becoming a high value man or woman requires work. It requires a lot of intentional work. So if you know that you're already a high value woman, obviously I can imagine that you want a high value. So I'm not going to read you guys comments or questions because you're going to distract me. So obviously you're also looking for a high value man, right? If you're a high value woman. So first of all, we have to first figure out who is a high value woman. And I'm going to give you 10 traits of a high value woman. And I'm going to tell you in between there what the dating steps are for high value women. So this woman wants to know that if she's a high value woman, how can she date properly in order to attract a high value man? But the first thing I want to say is you cannot have what you're not. Okay, ladies? A lot of you, like I say, live in la la land. You want the best of everything. You want the high value man. You want a high quality man. You want a man who is 6'2", who is this, who looks this way, who is this, who is intelligent, who is ambitious. But you are not all those things. You know, some of you say you want a man who is in shape, who is in this, but I see some of you that you're saying you want a man who is in shape. You are not in shape. So the first thing you have to remember is you cannot have what you're not. So everything you're looking for in that man, you also have to be that person. That's how it goes. Because the first thing I want to say about the dating step of a high value woman, okay, listen to me, is that you first have to know who you are before you can attract a man. You have to know who you are. You have to really understand who you are, number one. Number two, you already have to be happy and fulfilled. Okay? Because there's no man on this earth, there's no human being on this earth that can help you be happy or fulfilled. That is your responsibility. So if you're a woman who is sad and depressed and you're confused about your career and about the vision of your life, you don't know what your purpose is, you're just not feeling good about yourself, you feel like you're not going to feel good about yourself until you've lost 20 pounds or until you've done this or done that, then you need to fix all of that first before you start dating. Because if you go into dating, before you love yourself, if you go into dating and if you start looking for a man, you know, that is going to complete you like some people, nobody can complete you. You're going to complete yourself. The beauty about dating and marriage is that two happy people, two fulfilled people, two people with a growth mindset come together, and it creates a beautiful union. It creates a beautiful partnership. There's no man that can complete a woman. There's no woman that can complete a man. So don't be deceived. You have to be happy and fulfilled first. You have to understand what drives you, what your passions are, what it is that you're excited about life for, what your ambitions are, you know, what your mission in life is. Not that you have to get it all right. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. Life, we evolve through life, okay? But if you're committed to your growth, which is one of the, you know, the values or the traits of a high value woman, if you're committed to your growth, if you're not like a lot of women out there who don't want to hear any correction, they feel like they know everything, they're oversensitive, anything Dr. Iyabo says, she's been this, she's been that. If you're a woman who is not ready to learn from people who are wiser than you, if you're not ready to grow, if you feel like you know it all, if you're oversensitive to everything, you need to do some inner work first before you start dating, because otherwise you're going to attract the wrong men. You will not attract good men. The men you're going to attract are going to be men who just want to use you for sex, who just want to use you for attention. Thank you so much. Who just want to use you for attention, who just want to use you for whatever ulterior motives they have. And they will use you, misuse you, abuse you, they'll play with your emotions, and it just won't end well. So women, listen to me. The first dating step for high value women is you have to figure out your happiness first. You have to figure out your joy first, because if you're looking for a man to make you happy, you will be disappointed. You will be surprised in a very harsh way that you won't like. Okay? So no matter how old you are, whether you're 18 or you're 30 or you're 40, okay? Whether you're 18 or 30 or 40 or 50, like me, I got remarried at 50. You have to know what makes you happy. You have to know the mission of your life. You have to know what you stand for. Who are you as a person? So if you know that you're a high value woman and you're looking for a high value man, then you should be able to find him. But I do want to say another thing here, okay? Knowing what you want in a man is not enough to know how to date. Many of you women out there, you come to me and you're like, are you a matchmaker? Can you hook me up with a man? You know what? Men are not scarce. As much as you guys feel that men are scarce, good men are not scarce. You know what is scarce? Women who value themselves enough to know how to date. Okay? Men are not scarce. There's men in every country. Whether you live in Nigeria or the UK or in Atlanta, Georgia or New York, wherever you are, there's men everywhere. Yes, there may be more eligible bachelors in some places more than others. There may be more international people, like, in New York is a lot more international. If you're looking to date an international guy, yes, New York, the northeast of America may be better. The West Coast may be better. Atlanta, Georgia, yes, the pool may not be very big. I've been there. I was dating in Atlanta and I know what I went through. So, the dating pool in Atlanta may not be as big. It may not be as international. But there are men everywhere. There are good men everywhere. But what is lacking in most women is most women don't know how to date. You overchase men. Oh, right? You overchase men. You overdo things. You show desperation. You don't relax and calm down. Many women just don't know how to date. So it's not about good men not being around. You guys always want to say there's no more good men. There are good men in every corner of the world. But there's a certain way that you date good men. Okay? There's a certain way, I just said it. Somebody said, what about Dallas? Are there men there? I just said it. There are men everywhere. Everywhere. I'm sure there's men in Antarctica. Right? There are men everywhere. But you guys, I have coached many women one-on-one on dating. Many women. My 1-week coaching is my most popular program. Many women buy my 1-week program for dating. It's just because many of them are professional women. They want to be anonymous. They don't want me to even see anything about them. I posted one anonymous one the other day because I had to beg her that, can I just post it anonymously? Many people don't want to know they're getting dating coaching. And I understand. If it was me, I won't want my name to be out there. Oh yeah, Dr. Iyabo taught me how to date. But what I've discovered is that it's not that there's a scarcity of men. It's because a lot of you women don't know how to date. It's not something I can discuss here in 20 minutes. So the lady who asked me, I already told her that, yes, you want to know the dating steps for high value women. What I'm going to talk today about is, who is a high value woman? Okay, what are the traits of a high value? My 1-week dating coaching is $4,000. But you get me for that 1 week unlimited. You get me Monday through Sunday unlimited. It's like I'm going to hold your hand 24/7 unless when we're both sleeping. It is like a highly intensive dating program. I go into and once you're done with that 1 week, you will know exactly what you've been doing wrong. Every woman that I've coached on my 1-week dating program, they're like, wow, no wonder I haven't been meeting men. No wonder I haven't been successful. No wonder these men don't call me back. No wonder. Really? They're like, yeah, so you will be surprised. You will be surprised how wrongly you guys are dating and you're scaring these men off. You'll be surprised. So if you want to change your life, okay, if you want to change your life, if you really are ready to meet that man, sign up for my 1 week one-on-one dating coaching, because it will change your life and you'll just be getting aha. The last woman I coached, I think after the first day, she told me she was like, wow. She was like, wow, you have gone into so much already, so many things I didn't know. You've clarified so much. Oh, so this is why this, as I was talking, it's like everything I was saying, it's as if I knew her. It's as if I knew her. She's like, oh yeah, I've been doing that. No wonder. So women, I want to reiterate, it's not that good men are not out there. There are good men in every race. Okay? But if you don't know how to date, you will never ever be able to attract those men, and you will not succeed at dating, because a lot of women date wrong. And dating is a very personalized coaching. I can't just tell you, you do this and you do that and you do that. Everybody, hi Jamaica, everybody has their idiosyncrasies. Everybody has their personalities. Everybody has what they want in a man. So I have to personalize and curate it. But the topic for today is dating steps for a high value woman. Let's figure out who is a high value woman. How are you even going to know that you're a high value woman? Yeah, true. They date wrong. Then they say all men are the same. No, all men are not the same. There are many, many good men out there. There are many good men out there, but women date wrong. So let's get into it. Number one quality of a high value woman is a woman who knows her worth. Do you know your worth? Do you know that you're a high value woman? Do you know that you're wonderfully made by God? Do you know your worth? Do you know that your worth is not in the things you own, or your degrees, or your qualification, or how you look, or how you speak? Do you understand that you were born with high self-worth? Okay? Do you understand that you were born with high self-worth? If you all understand that, type yes. So self-worth is not something you get after you're 3 years old or 10 years old or 50 years old. We're all born with self-worth. Okay? We're all born with self-worth. So number one is, to be a high value woman, you have to know what your worth is. Okay? And it's automatic. As soon as God puts us on this earth and we're breathing, we all have self-worth. So you have to know that you're worthy. That you're a human of high self-worth. That's the number one value of a high value woman. Number two, self-love, which is similar to number one. Do you love yourself? Many of you think you love yourselves, but you don't. What is a sign of self-love? Well, a sign of self-love is number 6 that I'm going to discuss later on. If you love yourself, you'll practice self-care. Okay, that's number 6. But loving self-love is easy to understand. Do you love yourself as you are now? And do you love yourself enough to keep improving your life? Because if you love yourself, you will not want to stay static. Some of you are stuck. You're static. You have a scarcity mindset. You have a lack mindset. You don't know that you need to keep growing and learning and evolving. So self-love basically is, if you have a high value woman, do you love yourself as you are now? Or are you looking to look like somebody else, to be like somebody else, to do this, to copy, to be competitive? Do you love yourself? From 1 to 10, how much do you love yourself? Are you a 10 or are you a 2? So number 2 trait of a high value woman is high self-love. Number 3 trait of a high value woman is, are you kind and compassionate to other people? Okay? And when I say kind and compassionate, it doesn't mean, are you a footstool? Are you the carpet for people? I'm not saying, do you let people use you and misuse you? Okay? Because there's something called kindness and compassion, being compassionate. There's another thing, meaning letting people use you anyhow. Okay? Are you kind and compassionate? Do you practice the 9 fruits of the Spirit? Right? Those of you who are Christians know what the 9 fruits of the Spirit are. So are you a kind and compassionate person? right? Number 4, really important, are you committed to growth? If you're a high value woman, you have to be committed to growth. What does it mean to be committed to growth? You have to constantly seek support from people who are wise, from people who know more than you, from people who, the 9 fruits of the Spirit are peace, love, joy, kindness, peace, love, joy, kindness. I don't remember the rest. You guys have to remind me. Peace, love, joy, kindness, forbearance. I don't remember the rest. Most of the time I can only remember like 5. Somebody can look it up. But basically, it's how the Bible tells us to be a good person. You have to have peace. You have to have love in your heart. You have to have joy in your heart, kindness, all of that. So number 4 value of a trait of a high value woman is, are you committed to growth? Right? Are you committed to growth? Do you seek support from wise people, from people who are smarter than you, from people who have been where you want to go? Do you seek support? Are you open to learning? Do you have a growth mindset? You know, are you committed to your well-being and your wellness? So these are all the traits of a high-value woman. And all of these traits of high-value women are also the traits of a high-value man. Okay? Thank you. Somebody has looked up the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control. So do you have all of those things? Okay? So if you're committed to growth, you're a high-value woman or you're a high-value man. Number 5, passion. What are you passionate about? What drives you? What is your mission in life? What is your purpose in life? What drives you? What drives you? What are you passionate about? If you're somebody who's just wandering the earth, okay, you're just waking up, going to sleep, running after this job, running after your kids, and you don't have a clear meaning of your life. You're not intentional about what exactly is the deep meaning of why I'm alive. You're not a high value woman. So what are you passionate about? Okay, that's number 5. Number 6, self-care. Do you practice self-care? Are you always moving towards making your health and your wellness better? Do you understand that 80% of what you eat has to be wholesome foods, fruits, vegetables? Drink lots of water, okay? Cut down on sugar, cut down on alcohol, or completely stop alcohol. Stop smoking for those of you who smoke, okay? Do you practice self-care? What's your exercise routine? When was the last time you put on a pair of walking shoes to go outside and walk? Do you sleep 7 to 9 hours a night? Or you're one of those who's watching too much social media, you're believing all the lies that 4 hours of sleep is enough or 5 hours of sleep is enough? When was your last full checkup? When was your mammogram, for those of you who are women and older than 40? When was your pap smear? Do you know how many women I have coached on dating coaching who cannot remember when their last checkup was? And they're looking for a man to date. Okay? And they're looking for a man to date. So, okay? So, who is this person asking me if I'm single? I'm happily married. So, self-care, food, drink. What kind of thoughts are you putting into your head? What are you watching with your eyes? Do you drink? Do you smoke? When was your last checkup? How many women have coached on dating coaching who have not been to a checkup in years? They don't even remember. That is terrible. You're not a high-value woman if you're not committed to your self-care. Number 7, do you have class? You know? Do you have class? You know, class may mean different things to different people, but class, how do you carry yourself? When you walk into a room, do you own the room? How do you carry yourself? How do you portray yourself? What's your self-image like? Do you have class? The reel I just posted today, you guys saw the reel today where I was talking about how black women have over-sexualized themselves and all they put out there is their bottoms and their bosoms and everything. It's like, that's not classy. That's not classy. A woman with class knows how to dress. A woman with class knows she doesn't have to flaunt it all out there. A woman with class knows how to speak to people. A woman with class is confident. So if you're a high-value woman, do you have class? If you're a high-value man, do you have class? So if you're a high-value woman and you're checking all of these things, I'm on number 7, right? Class. So if you feel that, oh yeah, I have high self-worth, I have high self-love, I'm kind and compassionate, I'm committed to growth, I'm always seeking ways to improve myself, I listen and I learn from people who don't know more than me, I'm not oversensitive like all these other women who don't want to hear and everybody's shaming them and everybody's this and that, they don't want to listen to any corrections, but that's not you, right? You have things you're passionate about, you know what your purpose is, you're moving towards your purpose, you practice self-care, you have class, number 7, right? Number 8, are you mature? You know, some of you are adults and you still act like babies. You know, some of you are adults and you still act like babies. Are you mature? Are you mature? And part of maturity is being emotionally intelligent. How emotionally intelligent are you? Or are you one of those people who go to everybody's Instagram and call everybody names and curse out at everybody because they're not saying what you want them to say, they're not doing what you want them to do, you curse at them, you call them names, are you mature? Do you act like a mature woman? Or does every little thing get you angry and get you, I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry. It's sometimes we have to be angry. If there's things that we're not happy about, that's fine. But if you're overly sensitive and highly sensitive, you're not a high-value woman. If every little thing that is said makes you feel like you're being attacked, or if every little thing that is said makes you feel like you're being triggered, you're not a high-value woman. You have a lot of healing to do. So that's number 8. Are you mature and emotionally intelligent? Number 9, are you open and vulnerable? This is a little harder. You have to be evolved to a certain level. And I don't want to say this number, what number is this? Is it number 9 or 10? I don't want to say openness and vulnerability is a must-have, because this is for women who have really done the work. This is for women who are like up there with the work. So, but are you vulnerable enough? Are you open enough to be able to share your deepest wounds? To be able to share your story, to share your hurts, to share how you've overcome your hurts and overcome battles and your deepest valleys and how you've overcome. How vulnerable are you? Because if you want to be in a really good relationship with a good man who is also a high-value man, high-value men love women who are vulnerable. If you're too guarded, and everything, you're suppressing your emotions and you're holding everything in, and you can't share your deepest emotions with the guy as you get to know him, you're not going to be able to be with a high-value man. If you're showing this facade of strength, I'm strong, but you're suppressing your hurts, you're suppressing your emotions as if everything is good, you're not vulnerable and open, you're not going to be able to be with a high-value man. But this is why I'm saying that dating coaching is coaching that, you guys have to get one-on-one with me, because being vulnerable, some of you take it to the extreme, okay? Being vulnerable doesn't mean on your first 3 dates, you start telling the man all your deepest secrets, okay? Or telling him about your ex, or telling him about this and that. No, it comes out gradually. You have to build trust. You have to get to know this man. You have to listen to what he's saying. You have to know who he is before you start opening up the deepest things in your heart to him. Otherwise, you'll chase them away. He will run away. But as the relationship gets stronger, you have to learn how to be open and when to be open. Okay? The next thing is, I think that's number 10. Number 10 is, are you self-aware? Are you empathetic? And are you self-aware? This is similar to emotional intelligence. Being self-aware is you understand who you are. You understand your personality. You understand your weaknesses. You understand your strengths. And you're emotionally intelligent to know how to put those together to deliver them to the world and to present yourself. So are you self-aware? Many women are not self-aware. Many women don't understand that the way they behave, what comes out of their mouth is not what they don't know when to zip up. They don't know what to say. They don't, or they're overly sensitive. So many people are just not self-aware. You have to be self-aware and empathetic, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't use your voice. Okay? You guys hear me? I use my voice. I don't disrespect anybody when I talk, even though some people twist it into disrespect, but I'm not here to serve everybody, and I'm not here to butter everybody's bread. I'm only here to butter the bread of people who wants their bread to be buttered. So I don't come out calling people's names, but I speak my truth and use my voice. So you have to be self-aware and empathetic to be a high-value woman. Then number 11 and the last one, most important one. Do you have boundaries? If you don't have boundaries and you don't have self-respect, there's no man in this world that will respect you. That man has not yet been created. And I don't think he will be created for the next 1 million years. Many of you women don't have boundaries. You let men walk all over you. You chase men around. You accept their nonsense behavior. You accept cheating. You accept physical abuse. You ignore all the red flags. You don't have boundaries. You don't teach these men what you tolerate. You accept all of their nonsense. They tell you to fly 8 hours to come and see them. You jump on a plane and you fly to go and see them when they haven't flown to see you once. You fly to see them 10 times. And then you say they've disappeared, they've ghosted you. How won't they ghost you when you don't have boundaries? You're flying to see a man. You're jumping on the train to go and see a man. And that man has not moved 1 inch to come and see you. He can't respect you because you don't respect yourself. You have totally crashed your self-worth in front of this man because you're chasing him. You're doing the work that he should be doing. So do you have boundaries? If you don't have boundaries, you're not a high-value woman. So the lady who asked for this talk, these 11 points are all the points, they're all the traits of a high-value woman. For you to be able to attract a high-value man as well, who has all of these 11 traits as well, and for both of you to be able to move forward in a lovely, loving, committed partnership and relationship and probably marriage, you both have to be high-value people. But I'm sure there are not many people on this live that can tell me categorically that they've done the work and they have all of these 11 traits. So, women, it's not about whether high-value men exist or not. There are many high-value men out there. But are you a high-value woman? Is the first question. If you're not a high-value woman who can confidently check all of these 11 traits, stop looking for high-value men. Work on yourself first. Look in the mirror and work on yourself first. Work on your self-love, your self-care, your self-worth, your passions and purpose in life. Make sure you have a growth mindset and you're constantly seeking support from people and learning. Make sure you're mature, you're emotionally intelligent, you're self-aware, you're kind and compassionate. You learn how to be vulnerable, you have boundaries and you have self-respect and you have class. Okay? So everybody is a work in progress. Trust me, I'm a work in progress too. I see your note, hidden gems. You said I'm close but still a work in progress. I work to improve myself daily. Very good. So if you want a high value man, you have to strive to be a high value woman. That's number one. Okay, so if you are thinking you're a high value woman but you cannot check off all these 11 traits, you are not a high-value woman, so stop deceiving yourself thinking that you'll attract a high-value man because you won't. And even if you attract him, he's going to run away from you. So if you attract a high value man who has done the work, who is evolved, and that man checks off all of these 11 traits and you don't check them off, it won't last. So women, you have to do the work first is number 2. Okay, so number 1 is stop looking for high value men if you are not a high value woman. Okay, you're deceiving yourself. And then number 2, you have to do the work to become a high value woman. Okay, and that work is not an overnight job. Okay, and number 3 is you have to learn how to date. Okay, there's no scarcity of men. There are men everywhere, but many of you don't know how to date. You don't know how to date. This is why you're not able to attract high value, good men, high quality men. So those are the 3 things. So the woman who asked for this, I hope you've realized it now. Do an exercise. Listen to these 11 things and be honest with yourself. Do you have all of these 11 traits? If you don't have those 11 traits, you need to work on yourself. And if you can't do the work yourself, that's what I'm here for. Hire me as your coach and I'll help you, teach you how to develop these 11 traits of a high value woman so that you can attract a high value man, because you cannot have what you're not. And then number 3, even after you think you're a high value woman, you have to learn how to date. Dating, there's a technique around dating. There's a technique, and many of you don't know how to date. So, at the end of the day, you need help. Many of you need help. I have done a lot of work on myself. In my 30s, I invested over $250,000 on self-improvement and coaching and conferences and all sorts of things. I have done a lot of work on myself, but many of you women don't want to spend the money to do the work. Okay? If you're struggling in your life, you're struggling in your dating, you're struggling on how to attract a man and move forward with a man of high value, you need my coaching. So I hope today's talk what helped you guys out. The person who asked, I know you're going to watch the replay. Come back and let me know. But if you want a high value man, you have to become a high value woman first. And you have to be honest with yourself, because many of you think you're high value women and you're not. You have a lot of work to do. Okay? So you are going to have to do the work to become a high value woman first. And then you have to learn how to date. There are many, many things that you have to learn on how to date. It doesn't come easily for many of you. This is why so many of you struggle in your love life and in your dating. But please stop saying there are no men or there are no good men or men are scarce. That is false. There are good men everywhere. But you're not succeeding because you're not a high value woman yet, and because you don't know how to date. So the replay of this live is not going to be on my Instagram, like I said. It's going to be on my YouTube. So for those of you who are not yet subscribed to my YouTube, please go and subscribe now. It will be on my YouTube in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. Search for @Dr. Iyabo on YouTube or search for Dr. Iyabo Webzil. But please, please, please enroll in my 1-week one-on-one dating coaching program. You will be a different person after those 7 days, because you will learn some things that you've taken for granted and you didn't even know they were wrong. So invest in yourselves. $4,000 is chicken change. Many of you buy things for $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 without thinking. Invest in yourselves, okay? Invest in yourselves, because the dating coaching doesn't just stop with dating. When I do my 1-week one-on-one dating coaching, it is intensive. I go into every single area of your life. Every single area of your life. Because you can't date right unless all moving parts of your life are coming together. Okay? So please come to my DM. Just DM me love or freedom, or just type and say, Dr. Iyabo, I'm interested in enrolling in your dating coaching. And if you're watching this on YouTube, read the description. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to the description of my YouTube. You will see all of the links there and the instructions on how you can send me an email to tell me you're ready to enroll, or you can ask to have a free 15-minute coaching. No, my dating program is for everybody. It's for single women, divorced women, widowed women, and married women. I have coached many married women as well. My dating and relationship coaching is for everybody. If you're struggling in your marriage, I want to help you. If you're single, if you're divorced, you're widowed, I want to help you. It's for all women. Okay, it is $4,000 US. My dating coaching for 1 week is $4,000 US. So if you're interested, if you're on Instagram, come to my DM and just say, Dr. Iyabo, I'm ready for your dating coaching. Or if you're on YouTube, read the description on this video. It has the links for my dating coaching. You can just sign up right now. But if you want to chat for 15 minutes, if you want a coaching clarity call, the instructions are on the description here. Send me an email and I'll get you booked for that free 15-minute coaching clarity call, and we will get you enrolled, okay? So guys, the replay is going to be on my YouTube. Love you all. And if you guys have any topics you want me to do on my live, send it to my DM. Or if you're on YouTube, just post it in the comments. If there's any topic you want me to deal with in the future, post it in the comments. But for my YouTubers, go to the description on this video, read the description, and it will give you instructions on how to enroll in my 1 week one-on-one dating program. All of my coaching is virtual. So no matter what part of the world you're in, I can coach you. It is all virtual, okay? And even if we have different time zones, I'll be available for you, okay? So I'll see you guys later. Take care. Love you all. God bless. And remember to invest in yourself. Stop buying things. Invest in your self-development, financial development, personal development from inside out. That is the first thing you have to invest in. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.